Welcome to Juice United Show, and it is the EFL Cup final preview. Manchester United versus Newcastle, very close in the league, and both in the final. Garth, how you doing?
Good, mate. Good. Excited. Yourself excited for it tomorrow?
Very excited, especially after we took care of Barcelona in the fashion we did, and we just looked like that team. So we just look like the proper team that we are, and I'm just confident against anyone we play against right now. I'm confident, and I'm sure everyone should be. Even if we can lose against any other team, we still should be confident from the way we're playing, the kind of people we have inside our squad. We should be confident going into any match, home or away. I don't know about you, but what do you feel? Do you feel the same?
Exactly the same, mate. Football's football. Any given Sunday, we can lose a game. There's no two ways about it. I'm not saying we're guaranteed to win against Newcastle or anything, but the word you used there is confidence, and that's exactly right. I am confident that this squad can face any challenge and put up a good fight, win, lose, or draw. I don't see him getting steamrolled by anyone anymore, which is nice. And listen, I'm confident for this game. I really am. If we play anything like we did in the two games against Barcelona, it will be too much for Newcastle, and that is the honest truth. You know, I mean, like I say, any given Sunday they can win, but yeah, we should walk away with the trophy tomorrow, 100%.
Definitely, we should. It'll be the first one of. I think I have a feeling we're gonna win 2 or 3 cups this year. I got a feeling.
Oh, really? Fair play.
Yeah, I feel like we're quite close. You know, we should be really getting the Europa, and I think we can go far in the FA Cup. I think we really can. So you know, I don't see, like I said, I can't see a team apart from an Arsenal game where it's going to be really close, and City, of course. I can't see anyone else doing us over. I just can't. No one else is on the levels that we're on at the minute, apart from those two. You can say on any given day, something might happen. You know, you might concede a goal and then not score, and then you're finished. You know, like the game against Barca, we're ahead, we're looking better, and then they go and get a pen and score. And I was like, bloody hell, 1-0 down. And then like a team could go away and run off with it like that. You know, you could see something like that happening. But I can't see a team outright battering us anymore. I just don't know what it is. We're just playing some great football, and I just feel great. Absolutely great. What a contrast to last season, how we felt last year, Gar. We were coming on these going, didn't even bother.
Yeah, what's the point, man? Another 4-0. No, that's exactly right, man. We're playing much better. All credit to Ten Hag. Clearly the right man at the moment for this job. No two ways about it. Everything he's done pretty flawlessly. I said when he first came in, we've got to give him time to adjust. And they're them games, the 6-3 against City, the 4-0 against Brentford. These are the games where he's trying to adjust. He's learning different things he can and can't get away with. But let's face it, 9 out of 10 things that he's done, spot on. The way he dealt with
in-game management,
spot on. His in-game management, that is a joke. His substitutions, his in-game tactical substitutions are phenomenal so far. They really are. You know what I mean? They've almost always paid off, and you can't say that about a lot of people. So you know that this, if nothing else, Ten Hag's tactical understanding of the football game itself is high, and that's what you need, definitely. Because Solskjaer, mate, you remember that, never making a change. What a nightmare that was. So.
Yeah, staying with the exact same lineup for the 90 minutes, thinking, what are we doing? What are we playing at? But this manager, man, I don't even know how to put it. It's like, we do have a nice squad. I gotta say, the fact that we've had so many injuries as well, and the fact that pretty much every game we've gone with a good squad, and then there's usually something to bring on off the bench to make a change. Even if it's just Garnacho in the worst of times, it's been a just Garnacho, and he's come on and done bits for us. So it's been lovely. It's been absolutely lovely. Seeing the way he's dealt with us, and imagine we did have all these, you know, all our players fit, number one, and then imagine next year when he's going to be allowed to go and get extra players to add to this squad. That's going to be major. But let's focus on the here and now. Let's enjoy what we're seeing every single day, what we're seeing every single game, and what we're seeing from the bench. We're seeing contributions from every single player in the squad. He knows how to use his squad. And this is the thing, what people don't realize. When you come from a winning mentality, winning cups, winning leagues, there's certain things that you have, and there's certain things that you get used to. And he's got it all in him. You know, even when you see him in the interviews and he talks, say, listen, yeah, we done okay, but it's all about winning leagues, winning cups. It's not about just winning games and getting this far. We need to win stuff. So he just put it like don't get it twisted. If we lost all games from now, it would be a terrible season. So end of the day, we need to keep winning and keep doing what we're doing, and we will. And as long as everybody chips in, we're all good. But look, we're going to go into the form. Let's share our screen and have a look at Newcastle's form and have a look at Man United's form, because I remember last game they did lose to Liverpool. They did have they did have a man sent off early in the game, and funnily enough, Liverpool conceded chances, and they didn't score any more goals after that point. So, you know, it is one of them ones where you got to look at Newcastle seriously no matter what. So I'm looking at this here, and I'm seeing that Newcastle's last game versus Liverpool, as you can see here, they got a man sent off, they lost 2-0. They did play Bournemouth as well and drew 1-1. So that is also another thing. And then they also drew with West Ham. So they've not been on the greatest of form, but they did beat Southampton with 10 men as well in the semi-finals of the cup. So to get there. So as you can know, if you remember, they did beat Southampton. They did beat Leicester City as well. And they did beat Bournemouth to get to where they are. So they've done well. Let's take a look at the league table, because that does help. It does help see where they are now. They got a game in hand. They're in 5th position, and they can get to 4th again. We know what they've been all season. They've been a strong, rugged side. And what they've done, Garth, is they've been very tough to score a goal against. I think is it the second best? I think it's the best. It's the best goals against in the whole league. And I was watching something the other day, and they were talking about that all of their players are above 6 foot something, and that they make sure people do not score goals from crosses, from corners. So if you, and then they nick games and they win it. I was watching actually the podcast, the goalkeeper. Who is it now?
Foster.
Yeah. Ben Foster. Yeah.
Great podcast. Foscast. Yeah, great podcast.
Yeah. So he was talking about that, saying they're nicking games 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 because they're not allowing set piece goals. The amount of goals that people score from set pieces, if you cut them out, it's easy said than done. But if you work towards cutting them out, it's a tough job. But like I said, I don't know what you think, but I remember the last game against them away, we looked the better side. We were short on players, and we were still the better side. Controlled the game, should have won that game. What do you think of that last game yourself? What are you thinking?
Oh, we definitely should have won that, 100%. I thought we were, like I said, we were weak and we were the better side. I think listen, they haven't won a league game in 4 games. I think we have to go in confident, man. I think we really do. Like, I don't think we can go in. You really look at them. There's a lot of draws. Bournemouth 1-0, West Ham 1-0. I mean, listen, only just getting past Southampton as well. They are struggling at the moment. There's no two ways about it. Their form hasn't fallen off a cliff or anything, but this isn't the Newcastle team that I was worried about 3 months ago. 3 months ago when they were winning loads of games, they don't concede. That is the problem. Like they have actually conceded in their last 4 games, but they don't concede a lot of goals. So that will be our big test. I just think our squad should be too much for them. I think our gaffer should be too much for them. I just don't see. I don't see where they win the match apart from errors on our side. I don't see them controlling the game. I don't see them battering us. I could be really wrong. Like, you know what I mean? But I think the Newcastle win is exactly what you've seen this season from a cheeky 1-0. They get 2 shots on target. One of them goes in. You know, like literally, and fair play. Like you got to win. It's about winning. Winning's the name of the game, mate. So but just even that. Now look at the assists and goals. It's not great, mate, is it?
Yeah, well, you got Almiron who's on 10, and he started the season. He pretty much finished his goal scoring spree at the start of the season, so he ain't really done much in the last, 10 games or so. Maximan's been on the bench a lot. I know he's a dangerous looking player, and he did kind of cause a lot of trouble to Liverpool in the last game when they were 1-0 down. So I do look at them and say they still do have some dangers. Bruno, they've got their own Bruno who's doing very well. But they're not as good as us, as you can see, and as you know, they're not as good as us. We are the better side. We are the stronger side. Let's take a look at what we've got. As you know, we're beating up teams. Like, we just beat Barcelona 2-1, coming off the Leicester 3-0 victory, and then the 2-2 draw at Barcelona where we should have won, and then we've beaten Leeds 2-0 with clean sheet. And remember the Leeds game midweek where we were just a mess for a little blip, and then we get 2 back. But then apart from that, we've beaten Palace 2-1. knocked out Nottingham Forest 5-0 on aggregate, and battered Reading 3-1. Sorry. So, you know what? They are looking pretty good. Let's go to Man United's top scorers, actually, because I think Bruno and obviously Anthony has come back into it as well, hasn't he? So as you can see,
6 now. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Look at that. Rashford on 24. You know, I always like to look at the other stuff, like the goals per 90, 77. Amazing. He's actually scoring a goal every 77 minutes. Absolutely amazing. And his shots.
No. He's getting 70.77
goal
every 90 minutes. He's getting a goal every 116 minutes.
That would be more goals a game, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, mate, that's Haaland stats, bruv. That's Haaland stats, mate.
Sorry, but he's
calmed down.
Conversion. So... This is what really matters. Like 30% goal conversion is high. He is absolutely on fire right now. I know you've got others on more, but that's a bit skewed when you're not scoring as many goals or playing as many games.
Yeah, 100%.
But even the shot accuracy, 67% accuracy on target, 67% of the time with his shots. So he's had 81 shots and 67% of the time he's on target. That is a top striker stats. I know about these kind of stats because that's what I lived off. And that is top stats now. Anthony weighing in with goals as well. So yeah, I'm just loving what I'm seeing. I'm loving what I'm seeing, Garth. Especially the fact that Anthony's come back and he scores such a crucial goal to get us to get through. You actually got a comment come in. Curler's back again. What you say, Curlers? We can take them lightly. We can't take them lightly, I'm quite sure you're saying, but they have a third-rate keeper in goal for the game, and we are bang on form right now. For me, it's a case of how fit Rashford is, but I cannot see us losing tomorrow. I can't see us losing. I really can't see us losing, and I just want, obviously, Ten Hag's going to be letting them know. You play your game, you should win, but you have to play your game. You cannot take your foot off the gas and think that you're going to win it. And that's the kind of thing, you know, when people are winning leagues and stuff, that winning mentality, this is the one thing that the manager bangs on about. Was when we was winning the league, it was, listen, you earn the right to make this an easy game. You cannot walk into this game thinking it's easy. You earn the right. You outwork them because your ability will obviously come out on top. You have the same ability than them. Obviously, if they work harder than you, and what's the word he says? Hard work beats ability every day of the week. So you've got to have more hard work, and then your ability takes over. So I'm really buzzing about the way Ten Hag is making sure that their mentality is, and also the amount of players we have in this side, Garth, that have that mentality as a standard. That's just standard. They're bringing everyone else up with them. And that's where you see other players and you look at them and think, they're unbelievable players. You know, have you ever noticed that, Garth, where the big teams, they play with players that you don't really, you think are amazing, but when they move on to another club, they're not anywhere near you thought they were. Yeah. And that's why. That's the kind of things now. I think unfortunately, it's happened the other way around for us, where we had no players around and all of them players were kind of struggling. And now all the great players have come in and made them look really good. And we think they're now playing well. They're just playing well because they're doing their job within the role of the team, which they can do. And they're not called upon to do, obviously, to be the difference makers.
Listen, I mean, it does work both ways as well. I've seen players swallowed up by big clubs and good teams who just can't rise to the occasion of Diego Forlan, and then they move off and become absolute world beaters. No, 100%, man. They do, you know, I mean, 100%. I agree. I think a rising tide raises all ships. So yeah, I agree. Listen, Casemiro in that back line, it will improve anyone's game apart from Paul Pogba. So
you still carried on trying to think that that's the case. You know it's not anyway.
Mate, listen, we'll save that debate for a second round some other time. You know what I mean? But no, 100%. There are players in that team that are definitely playing above their capabilities because we're in a winning team right now. Fred, for example. What happens is, Dave, is what I find is you are forgiven for your mistakes when you're winning. So the little mistakes that Fred's making, losing the ball, that isn't costing us games, you forget about them because he had 2 good runs. The moment you start losing games, you forget about the good things that a player's done. And it's just, did you see those 3 bad? I'm as bad as anyone else with it. You know what I mean? Did you see those 3 bad balls he made? So no.
Yeah, it happens.
We're playing so well at the moment that everyone is playing to their ability. And like you say, it must be nice. And I'm not digging out Solskjaer because he's my favourite, but it must be nice for a lot of them players to have real structure, a real knowledge of they can work themselves into the team. Because let's face it, if you were Bailly back then, Eric Bailly, you're not getting games. So what's the point of even keeping yourself fit? Putting yourself through all of that trauma, all of that, like every day, like. Seriously, I'm never getting a minute. Like, I'm in peak physical condition. What is the point of I could have a bag of chips last night, and I'm not even on the bench, bruv. I could have had or a nice curry or something. So, but yeah, no, I know where you're coming from.
It's so funny. It's sometimes that's the way players do start thinking. After a bit of time, when things are going so bad and you're never getting a chance, sometimes you do fall off a little bit, and it happens to the best of us. We are human as well, so yeah. Curtis says, for me, a win tomorrow, and it's the start of the few trophies this season.
Oh, I agree with you, mate.
Huh?
I agree with you, Nathan. I like it, man.
Yeah, I believe, man. Like I said already, I'm looking at. They've just hit the post and they've just scored. Man City, and it's
got Arsenal one as well.
Yeah, Foden's just gone and got his goal. It's 1-0, and oh well, who cares? Yeah. But look, we're looking at.
We can only keep doing what we're doing. You know what I mean? We can
exactly. We do what we're doing. Unfortunately, we had to start the season, and Ten Hag had to allow things to play out for him to then choose his side and be not unfair. I believe he knew he had to take a few games for the team before he understood exactly what he's dealing with, and then he knows who to just phase out and who to just keep in this side and who's going to do a job for him. And he's seeing it in training, and he's rewarding the players very well. He's just rewarding them. And one thing that I can say, is I really think Aaron Wan-Bissaka has become our first choice right back. I don't know what you think, but I believe he has.
Yeah. Well, this is what I was just about to say. The other thing you've got to allow Ten Hag to do is it's all well and good to everyone telling him that Harry Maguire's no good. He needs to see it 90 minutes for himself on the pitch. Highlights, watching it on TV, that does nothing for you when you're a gaffer. You need to see exactly how he's leading the team. Is he the one that's always at the back, last man, and he's letting people on the side, etc., etc.? So he had to give him his chance to improve, just like Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Because when we saw Aaron Wan-Bissaka on that team sheet, we were like, and he's improved and improved and improved. We always knew the kid had ability. It was just whether he could reach that ability. And right now, I mean, for me, I won't lie, it is split 50-50 depending on the game. It really does depend on the game. If I think we've got a chance to be more open and more attacking without too much coming at us, I'm playing Dalot all day. Yeah. In a game like tomorrow, it's Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So if
this is what I'm saying.
For the important games, it's Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's Aaron Wan-Bissaka for the important games, mate. 100%.
When you look at it and you think about it, that is the harder game, the game where you need called on to defend more, you're going to need him. And I believe if that's what it is, it means the better, the harder games, you got to go with your strongest lineup. And I do agree with you. Exactly what you said, though. It's true. If we do have ability to go and attack more, you can give Delo his games. And he's obviously not a liability at all.
No.
What I'm saying is that when you've got really tricky wingers like Saint-Maximin, you do not want to not be playing Wan-Bissaka. You do not want him sitting on your bench when you've got Saint-Maximin coming up against you or Almiron or whatever. So Almiron obviously has done okay for them this year. So we've got to take him seriously as well. Oops, one thing here.
We've got to take Newcastle seriously permanently. This is what I mean. All this, I think we're going to win. I'm not trying to disrespect Newcastle. They're an amazing team with an amazing gaffer. I just think we're stronger. And like Curtis said, I can't see where we're losing tomorrow. I don't unless it's a mistake, unless we just don't play well. If we play to our ability, I don't see how we lose, man. I really don't. You know what I'm saying?
You guys get your comments in. Have your comments because we've got Garth. He's going to give us his starting lineup and talk us through why he's gone with this starting lineup as well. So your starting lineup is coming up on the screen, and you just talk to us about why you've gone with that starting lineup.
I personally think that this is the strongest lineup we've got to put out there tomorrow. The front three, I don't see how you play Weghorst in this game. I'm sorry. Not with Anthony back, Sancho, Garnacho, Palette. I just don't think it fits. Maybe in the aim centre role again, Anthony on the bench, Bruno on the right. But if I had my pick, if Anthony's fully fit, he starts. The defence makes its mind up. Martinez, Varane, Shaw. We can have a discussion about right back if you want. Like, if someone who thinks Dalot should be in there, I understand that. I'm not saying he shouldn't, but for me, it's Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Fred and Casemiro. There's an argument out there for Zabitzer. I think Fred for this game against Newcastle, just with their they've got industrious centre midfielders in Bruno and whoever else they play in there at that time. You know what I mean? Joe Linton, so. I think Fred definitely, Bruno in the aim centre role, Anthony on the right, Sancho on the left, Rashie going forward. I think we're going to see more and more from Sancho. And I actually think, I'm hoping it's going to push Anthony on as well. Seeing the rise of Sancho will bring Anthony up. So, yeah, I don't think there's a weakness in this team. Like I say, a couple of arguments you can have right back and centre midfield. Apart from that, I don't think there's any other suggestions to go forward with it. So.
Yes, very good side, and as you know, great minds think alike as always.
Exactly.
You know what it's like, but I'm going to add to that as well because I know you were mentioning a few things to do with. Here's my side, exactly the same as yours. I've gone with Fred in there instead of Sabitzer because I feel Fred is. He's helped us get this far. We're in the final for a reason, and he's absolutely done very well for Barcelona against Barcelona. 2 legs on the trot, and he's man marked De Jong pretty much out of the game. 2 games has kept him as quiet as can be, and he's got around the pitch. You know, so he deserves to start. You can't not start him and put Sabitzer in there. It's only fair that Sabitzer comes in if things are going wrong. And as you say. I want Rashford up top because I want us to have an attack to be able to break down their defense. And I think them being the size that they are at the back, playing Weghorst is going to just play into their hands. Remember, he's not that good in the air anyway. So then playing against the big lads, he's going to lose headers all over the place. And it's not going to really be effective. And I really think Sancho's movement, Anthony Rashford's movement, their movement will be tremendous. I'd like to see, like I said before, I'm thinking outside the box here, yeah? But I'd like to see Anthony go up through the middle at times. Because I know he's been putting Sancho in the middle and then moving Bruno out to the right. Now, if he starts doing that and Anthony's still on the field, where does Anthony fit? And I'm thinking he could just be a guy who's more inside doing the runs, the same thing, and being that inside man. Because I feel like I said, he's more dangerous when he's inside, in between those the box, them lines. Now, when he's outside them lines, he's less effective. As you see, he made that great run in from out to in when Casemiro played it over the top for him, and he's pacing the guy off the ball. That was great to see him run in behind the player and get in there. Now, that's his position to be able to open up and do that goal. So the closer he is into the goal, he's able to open up and score that kind of goal a lot more. And just do a lot more. I think he's just not got too many options when he's outright. But I will play him out there. But what I'm saying is, if Ten Hag does use a Bruno on the right and he pushes him out there, I wouldn't mind seeing Anthony, listen, move inside, Rashford go to the left side, and you all just go. And Sancho in the hole, driving at players. Let's try that again. I can see it being tried. That's all I'm trying to get at, Carl.
Can you see, because I know Ten Hag's like this at Ajax, almost like people change position, almost like them 4 rotating in a single game, literally. Exactly. Anthony moving to the centre, Rashford out to the left, Sancho down, and then because I can see that working, they really bamboozled the defence. Because I know I never realised this when I played on the wing, but fullbacks do get comfortable over 90 minutes with the same man running at them. They know that I'm going to drop a shoulder to my right and then hook it to the left to take it in on the inside on them. They learn very quickly. Whereas if you're Sancho for 10 minutes, then you've got Anthony for 10 minutes. Now all of a sudden you've got Rashford for 10. It could be a really great way to do it. So
that's what he's been doing. But Curlers has come and said, so how do we feel about Avram going to the game tomorrow? This is starting to look like a partial stay, and it won't end well for us. I don't get that one.
He's talking Avram Grant's coming to the game tomorrow, and he's talking a partial sale of the club because obviously the Glazers have looked for investment opportunities as well, not just a full sale. I won't lie, Curlers. I'm reading it another way. I'm reading it that he's there to meet actual buyers for the club. You know what I mean? To show that.
Avram Grant,
Avram Grant, to show that he's still part of this club. I wouldn't want a partial sale either. It has to be a full sale in my mind. And in reality, the only ones that's got the money for it is the Qataris. That is it. If we're going to sell for $5 billion, it has to be to them. But no, I've got no problem with Avram Grant being there. I'm not one of these fans. I hate the Glazers as much as the next person. I really do. But bottom line is, it's his. It is his. So 100%. I don't want a partial sale, Curlers. I mean that just doesn't bode well for us. You're just getting someone that comes in, invests 10%, 400 mil, we might get a new roof on Old Trafford. You know, maybe some new cones at the training
Nah,
ground.
mate.
Like,
We need 2 Bill Stadium, mate.
Exactly. Yeah.
2 Bill Stadium. But John Raphael says, well, good to see you, mate. I've not seen your name on here before, so nice to see you. Yeah, he has been, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready for tomorrow game. Here we go, guys. And Curler says again, he says, that's my team Garth to a man, but I do think he might use Vout for 45.
Yeah.
Tire out the defense for speed to be brought on later. Well, that's where Garnacho comes into it. I think Garnacho will be the speed that comes on later. And I think if we continue with speed, get him tired even more. I know I do feel like Wout Weghorst will start, or he will play in this game.
I'm sure I think he'll start as well. I don't need us putting a team, Nate, but it's just the way he's been playing recently. But listen, Wout as well, you could make an argument that we tire him out with these 3 boys to start with, and you bring Wout on for the last 30, and it's something completely different and bamboozles. And again, the defender's now got to deal with a 6'6" monster up there. Well, I say monster, a 6'6" something up there. So.
You know what? It makes sense more for him to start and come off than to come on as a sub that's going to change the game, to be fair. But I wouldn't start with him to myself. And I'd only bring him on if we're winning by like 3 or something. And this game, I'd be looking at, listen, this game, I want Garnacho on if anything goes wrong, and I'm starting with these 3. That's what I would do. And then we'll take it to them. But look, Ten Hag knows what he's doing, mate. So,
yeah, exactly. I'm just thinking, like, there's another way. We're 1-0 down with 30 minutes to go. It's a Hail Mary, isn't it? It is. I know he hasn't done much for us, but it is something different. Like we haven't got anything else like that in the team. Period. It is just something else for them to think about. Which what a lot of people are saying about Vu is that he drags players to him and allows the space in behind and stuff. So I agree with you. I don't want to see him, Dave. I don't want to see him out there. I really don't.
He didn't do that against Barca, did he?
Exactly. He doesn't do it enough. He doesn't do it enough, man. But
you know what it is, are we being too nice because we're winning games and he's not? If anybody else was playing like that, I don't think we'd be happy. Because I've seen Marcel come on in games like that and start games and link up all right, miss a chance, and everyone's on his back like he's the worst player on earth. You know, I hate that guy. I hate him. But then this guy comes and doesn't score. He has like things put on a plate for him. Can't hit the target. Not even hit the target. Can't get the shot off without the defender blocking it. Does very well with the ball to his feet. Loses too many headers. Loses too many balls when it comes into his chest. He's on the floor. Now he does well with the link-up play. He does, but that's it. That is really it, isn't it? Are we going too nice or what?
We're definitely being too generous with him. I think not so much because we're winning. I think we know he's only here for 3 or 4 months, so it's almost a bit of a waste of our time to be bashing the fella. Listen, I think we're being generous in the way we're spoken about him, but all we've said all through since he's played is he ain't doing anything. Like if you really look at the words we're saying, not the tone we're saying it in, we're actually slating the geezer. He's doing nothing every game. Like literally, this is the one thing I don't get what Ten Hag's doing. I don't see it. I don't see what he's bringing to this team when you've got the full squad there. You know what I mean? Listen, when he first came, we had no one here to play. But if you start leaving Sancho or Anthony on the bench to play Wout Weghorst when he scored 1 goal against, was it Reading he scored it, or was it Southampton in the League Cup?
Not in the Forest.
It Forest in the Forest? Sorry, it's not Southampton. It's Forest in the League Cup. Yeah, he scored 1 goal, no assist. Like you said, can't hold up the ball for love nor money. And his link-up play. I think. We're just saying that when you really think about it, no assists, no real link-up play apart from once or twice in the.
Did he set up Rashford for the 1 goal, that through ball for a Leicester game? I think that was only him. I think it was him playing the ball.
He played it. He played it to someone else who played the ball into Rashford. So he's played a few good passes. But listen, if you take his entire
game,
nothing. So we're 100%. We're being too generous, but I don't think it's because we're winning. I think it's just because we know he ain't here in the summer. But listen, if we were losing and he was playing every game, every fan channel around would be like, "What's he doing? Bringing McNeil from the youth team, play Anthony." They would, you know what I mean? So
look, he's done okay for what he does, and that's it. I'm looking at him as a player who will hold up the ball, and that's all I'm looking at him for. Everything else, I'm going to just say, look, I expect it to be not the best. But as long as he can hold up the ball and do that one job, if that's the one job that Ten Hag wants him to do, and he works hard and shuts people down, then that's his job. Fine. But I'll look at him in terms of those 2 things: work hard, link up. That's it. And I won't even look at anything else because there's no point. To be fair,
nothing else there.
there isn't any point. So yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. You ain't buying that in the summer because you can find a player that can do both them things and still finish and still have a bit of movement about him. You know what I mean? So I think Man United have already come out and explicitly said we are not going to sign him in the summer as well.
Okay.
So.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Anyway, we shouldn't need to, should we? It's really like, I think City have scored again, and I hope it's not Haaland. Is it Haaland?
Come on, Haaland. I need them fantasy points, mate. I need them fantasy points.
Listen,
with the Qatari owners. Hold on a second. Qatari owners coming in, mate. I'm expecting Vlahovic, Kane, and Mbappe. I'm expecting 270 mil spent in like a day, let alone like.
Oh my gosh. Who scored? It's Foden. No, it's Foden. It's Haaland. It's Haaland.
Oh, sweet. Good.
He's going to get away from Rashford for more goals again.
Listen,
he's going to get 30.
He's having his dry patch now. You've got the end of the season coming where he scores another 20 in 10 games. So, yeah.
Going to be ridiculous.
A monster. He's a monster. And, you know, when Man City get relegated down to the conference and they're having to play Dartford and you play for Tooting and Mitcham, when he's at Haaland's up against them, mate, that's going to be 27 a game. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my gosh. Look, we're going to the score predictions. Talk to me about how you see the game going before you give your score prediction. I'll bring it up after. How do you see this game?
If we play to the best of our ability, like I said, I think we win. Not with a comfortable scoreline, but comfortably on the pitch. I think we stifle Newcastle. I think we reduce them to set piece chances. If our fullbacks can cancel out Almirion and St. Maximin if he plays, then yeah, it's done and dusted. You know what I mean? It really is for me. So I've gone with a 2-0 to reflect that. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game for Man United, but I think, do you know what I think it would be like? It's almost the 99 Cup final again against Newcastle, the FA Cup final, where it was only 2-0, but we pretty much owned that game from start to finish, you know what I mean? So, yeah, but that's if, and I keep going back to that, if we play to the best of our ability. That's what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Yeah, so. Yeah.
Curler's gone with 3-1 United. Well, let me talk to you about.
I like it.
Yeah, let me talk to you how I see it going. It's pretty much similar. I think we're going to control the game. It's going to be a tight game that I feel like we'll get chances early on, and we're going to have to finish that early one to settle the nerves. Once we get that first one, it'll be plain sailing for the rest of the game. We're going to be in control, and we're going to go on and score goals throughout the game at nice periods. It's like one early, one middle, one towards the end, and I believe they're going to get a goal towards the end as well. And I believe that we're going to win 3-1. I think it's going to be it's going to be a comfortable victory, but it's going to be made comfortable because of Casemiro, Varane, Martinez, and all these boys doing the right things, and Wan-Bissaka shutting down that you're a St. Maximin, and Shaw shutting down your Almiron, saying, listen, this is another level, mate. This is a different level. This is what we're about, and we're going to show you guys. So, yeah, I think it's going to be 3-1. As you can see, I've got Rashford, Bruno, and Casemiro getting a goal. I think Casemiro is going to top off a fine performance, a man of the match display with a goal, and we are going to win 3-1, Garth. It's going to be nice.
Yeah. I can't wait for it, man. We'll be back here tomorrow. What was it? 7:30, so 7:45, crying because we just got beat 1-0 by a jammy Dan Burns deflected header or something.
That early goal makes them come forward, and that's what we want.
Well, if you think about it, that's what happened in the 99 Cup final. As I was saying, was it Paul Scholes who scored before? Was it Sheridan? Whichever one scored first, scored within like 6 minutes, and then we just controlled the game for the rest of it. So that's where I'm going with it. 100%. I'm confident. I'm glad to see the fans are confident in the chat. It's so nice to be in this position, man. Because listen, I didn't watch the UEFA Cup final because of the European Super League stuff. But when we went into that final again in 2019, I had no confidence we were going to win that game. Like none whatsoever. You know what I mean? It was tight. Whereas this, as tight as it is, I'm confident. It's exactly what we said at the start, Nate. Like, I've got a belief in this team and this set of players and this manager. So,
we're on it, mate. We're on it. We're just playing football at another level. And it's like it's the norm, what you expect from us now, if you get what I mean. You can't play any differently when you have such a structure to your side and players on form. Like, they can't play any other way. So, I really think we're going to absolutely kill it. John Raphael says, yes, he can. Ten Hag is a talent one.
Yes, he can. Ten Hag is a talented one. Yeah.
Okay. And you got a different keyboard like me as well. Right? Keyboard. I'm struggling with the letters. But yeah, it's, yeah, man, we're gonna kill it. We're going to absolutely kill it. Bring back the silverware tomorrow. That's all I want to talk about. 4:30 tomorrow, kickoff. We are going to be winning this game and coming home with our first bit of silverware, and Rashford loving it, and all the other boys loving it, Garth. It's gonna be amazing.
One quick one before we go. A weird thing I've been seeing going around the internet is people saying that Harry Maguire shouldn't lift the trophy. Bruno should. Exactly. You've got no problem with Harry Maguire lifting the trophy, yeah? Because I have got no problem with him.
I don't care who lifts the trophy. I don't care who lifts the trophy. Whoever's the captain on the day and is in the side with the captain's armband on, just pick it up and do it, whatever. And even if it is him, everyone's going to pick up the cup anyway. You know,
I know what it'll be Bruno and Maguire together, because Maguire will be on the bench, Bruno will be starting, and they'll do the old double-handed one, won't they? You know what I'm saying? But is it Wembley? Do they still got the steps, or do you have it on the pitch now?
I think it's
on the pitch, don't
you? There's no lane. There's any steps?
Lane. I don't think there is lane. Mate, it's been so long since I've been
Wembley. They do got the steps, don't they?
Right, they
do. Yeah, they do. I remember going up the steps at Wembley. Yeah, so the new Wembley. Yeah, so I remember picking up the runners up. Nonsense playoff final runners up.
Oh, that must be devastating. That must be devastating, bro.
The worst feeling ever. Like that really, day, yeah. You don't understand. I'm not even. I went to sleep thinking. Premiership. We're one day away from the Premiership. We get there now. We lose 1-0 to flipping Derby. Unbelievable. Oh, and I was on a.
They shouldn't give losers medals out, man. They shouldn't. Not like that. You maybe get in the post or something, or in the changing room afterwards, but you shouldn't make the entire team walk up and pick up that, bro.
You know what's even worse? Both teams have got a party ready for after the game. So the losing team never want to go. Who's going to want to go to the party? All the families, everybody come. And we're always like, I ain't staying. I'm going home. I don't forget.
I've been here 45 minutes. Can I leave? I think that's a required amount of time to show my face. I'm out here.
Exactly what happened.
That must be dreadful. Yeah, like a wake almost. Like no.
Oh, mate, the worst feeling ever. Imagine your whole season's hard work coming down to one day and losing, not getting back to the Prem. It is the worst feeling ever. I don't even want it to wish that on nobody. But look, you have to get on with it as a professional. You have to get on with it and go again. But yeah, it does hurt. It does hurt. So yeah. But anyway, Man United time. We're going to win it. Forget about talking about going up there as a loser. United are not losing. Newcastle, they're used to that feeling. Let's let them continue with that nonsense. You know how many finals they've been? I think they've been 8 finals and lost. Their last 8 appearances in the final, they've lost all 8. Let this be their 9th. Come on.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. Let their 10th be the one that they break this hoodoo. 9th will keep it as it.
Right, then people, make sure you hit that like if you've liked what you've seen today. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't, if you're new. And look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow after the game. Because we will be smiling and we will be winning. And that sign up at the top that says versus, you know it will say 3-1 on it. And it will be 3 to Man United and 1 to Newcastle. Peace out. See you guys tomorrow.